Hey guys, this is Blonde Guy Gamer, and since Zero Master is doing another 60-bit winter event, I decided to contribute again. And for this first game, I'm going to do a game that's a little obscure and pretty unique, and that is Kid Klown in Crazy Chase. And we have the intro here, and I am not going to read the text out loud, because that's just not what I do. Unless you want me to do it in a really obnoxious voice. Because all Let's Players have to read off text in a really annoying voice, right? Yeah, I can assume you can all read, and you can see for yourself that the game revolves around a space pirate named Blackjack kidnapping Princess Honey. And all the characters are clowns. Also, despite the fact that the game's villain is a space pirate, and that there are spaceships, you actually don't go into space yourself. You actually don't go into space in this game. So, you play as Kid Klown. And he's been asked by the king of Clown Planet, or whatever it was called earlier, to go save his daughter. And the story is very quite tongue-in-cheek. And, you know, it's obviously meant to be a very silly game, because, well, clowns. So I found this game a few years ago at the pawn store, and I only knew about this game because I saw a video of it before. It does sort of have its charm, and it has a pretty good presentation behind it. Although when it comes to the actual gameplay, I'm pretty mixed on it. But we'll get into that once we, get started. And yes, Kid Klown is intentionally clumsy, because he's a clown. And that actually factors into the gameplay too, as pretty much every stage in this game is you running to the goal before time runs out. So, and the controls are very simple. You just have movement and jumping. And you can select the controls and even have it where you can hold the controller upside down for some reason, but we're obviously just sticking with moving with the control pad in, just pressing any button to jump. So, despite the fact that we were in space, we just go through 5 pretty conventional areas. And every stage, Blackjack will drop a bomb, because I guess he's also a terrorist as well. And it goes all the way to the end here to light a giant fuse. A giant cartoon fuse. And the whole game is in an isometric perspective. So it's an isometric platformer where you have to avoid all the obstacles and reach the end to get rid of the bomb. However, you also have to get all the balloons by jumping at them. And you don't want to miss any of the balloons because you want to get these. These are suits. Card suits like clubs, diamonds, spades, and all that. Yeah, and if you hit any obstacles, you'll lose a bit of health, and yeah, there's balloons that can fall on you too. So anytime you fall or get hit by anything, you'll lose a bit of damage, and you'll slow down considerably. The ladder is a big factor into this, because if you get hit by too many things and slow down too much, you won't reach the end of the map in time and get rid of the bomb before it blows up. All the while, you have to make sure to not miss any balloons, because while the placement of the suits are a bit randomized, you don't want to miss any of them, because if you miss any of the clubs, or if you miss any of the card suits, you'll have to redo the stage over. And if you redo the stage over, you actually don't have you can't have a shot at the best ending. And so in terms of like the controls, they're not bad, but of course, because this is done in an isometric style, it's pretty easy to get to misjudge things. And you can find little secret areas here, like if you jump on top of the cannon, you can find a little platforming section where you can grab some coins, and there's a power-up at the end of it. And if you fall down or hit those spikes, you'll just go back to where you were without getting the rest of the coins. I'm just going to ignore that one coin, because I can never seem to get it, no matter how many times I try. And this power-up we collected is a clock, after we get some cheap shots from the cannon, because we're still in front of it. The clock slows down the fuse, so it's quite a helpful power-up. It's the most useful power-up, but I can only seem to find it in this and the second stage, as opposed to the later stages where the fuse goes faster and naturally would be, you know, kind of helpful. So as you can see, yeah, and Blackjack will occasionally try and stop you in your tracks. So the first stage is really pretty easy. So we got all those in one go, and we get a key and a heart. The heart is what you get when you don't have to loot the stage again. And we get our points, but the points don't really factor into anything really, except for just being a scorer. And the coins do factor into the bonus games. There's only 2, though. The first one is just whack-a-mole. We have to hit Blackjack and not hit you or not hit Kid or Honey. If you hit Kid, you lose health instead of gain a bit of health. And if you hit Honey, it's just game over right there for this thing. But yeah, the coins factor in how many seconds you have for this one, and you know, hitting Blackjack gets you back health, and that's the only thing you really get out of the bonus minigames, is to replenish your health if you lost any to begin with. So now we're on to the second stage, which is a city. So yeah, Blackjack really is a terrorist if he's going around planting bombs in a city. Insert tasteless terrorist joke here. So this game, like I said, I have mixed feelings on. You know, I like the presentation. It's actually quite charming and very cartoony. The graphics are well done, and there's a ton of animations for Kid, like when he gets hit by various things. And oh look, possible product placement with those cans. They look awfully familiar, which you can't actually trip and even get stuck in one if you jump into them from the little ramps. And if we go on 2 ramps in a row, we get another little bonus stage, which we just have to avoid getting hit by the anvils. I usually try and stay more towards the center of these kind of stages, but you see the controls are a little floaty in this, and so it's kind of easy to get hit by those anvils. So you might actually want to follow the coins, but if we get to the top, we get another clock. So yeah, and the only problem with these little bonus stages is that most of the times you'll just find them by accident. So there's that when, yeah, and sometimes the hit detection for some obstacles can be a little iffy because of the perspective. And yeah, there's Blackjack getting, yeah, since Blackjack is a clown too, he'll constantly fuck up too, and so the thing is with Kid Klown is it's basically one of those games where it pretty much you have to be good at in order to not. If you're good at it, it's not bad. But when you're first playing out the game and you're like constantly getting hit by things over and over, it can get pretty frustrating, especially when you get hit by stuff like that. And most of the time, actually, when you get hit by things, Kid will take a long time to like recover, like with that water. But if you press the jump button repeatedly, he'll recover it from it faster. But it still takes like several seconds usually to get out of whatever's happened to you. And yeah, and if you don't jump out of the way from Blackjack there, he'll tackle you into the cars and you'll lose some health and spend more time. So yeah, this is definitely one of those games where it can get pretty frustrating, especially near the end for me, but you'll see what I mean when we get to that. And those ramps are a little weird, because if you're not running at full speed, you won't launch off of them, it'll just do like little hops. And oh yeah, and there's also like coins along the way of those mini bombs, but if you don't reach them before the fuse lights them up, you won't get those coins. But the coins are really only for points, and they factor into how many how much time and in the case of the next minigame, how many chances you get. Or the next bonus game. So, yay. We just cleared the city. Yeah, there's only like 5 stages in this game. There's only 5 stages, and they all are done in less than 3 minutes. Now, if you go down here, we actually have another little platforming thing we can find, where we can get a new power-up, a different power-up. So this one's a little bit more tricky because we have these alternating platforms. And we get this, I don't know what to call it, a muscle power-up, I guess? And there's health down there too. The muscle power-up lets you not take damage from any obstacles, and you recover from them really fast, like there. The only problem is that by the time you get this power-up in this stage, you're already pretty much at the end, so there's no really point to that power-up. But anyway, here's the other bonus minigame, which is air hockey. Now, just like with the whack-a-mole stage, if you manage to get goals in, you recover health. And that's pretty much it. Although I think I did see in a long play of this game, someone did actually get an extra life, which, yeah, you do have lives in this game, at the bottom there. You lose a life if you don't reach the bomb in time, or if you take too much damage and die, because your health doesn't replenish except if you do these mini games and actually, you know, win. And yeah, the air hockey game isn't that great. I mean, if you thought the one in Duke Nukem Forever wasn't that great, this one is probably worse, actually. Anyway, we're now on to the third stage, which is on this volcano, and yeah, I kind of skipped that bit in the beginning there, because it's pretty much the same animation every time, of Blackjack trying to blow up the mountain. And earlier he tried to trip Kid. If you don't jump or get out of the way, he will make Kid fall. So yeah, Blackjack is, at certain intervals and times during the game, will try and screw Kid over, because he's just that much of an asshole villain like that. But of course he gets his comeuppance when he fails, like there. So yeah, this is the obligatory fire stage of the game. Like I said, all 5 stages of this game are pretty conventional. So this game is, like I said, it's pretty unique. I don't really know of that many types of games that are like this, where it's like where, you know, it's not only is it isometric, but the gameplay revolves around, you know, getting to the goal at the end before time runs out, essentially. All the while you have to collect things. It's an interesting take on I guess, this type of game, if you could call it a type of game. And yeah, Blackjack will try to hit you with a hammer, but as long as you just jump out of the way, and you'll be fine. And this is the only time you get this, where you just have to avoid those spiky platforms. So yeah, there's a lot of rock and a lot of fire in this game. And, well, not this game, this stage, I should say, rather. But, you know, like I said, it can be pretty frustrating to get through this game without, you know, screwing up consistently, unless you, like, because it's a short game, you can pretty much just know where to avoid stuff and where you can find things, and this is another little mini game. Yeah, these types of bonus stages, or where you can find power-ups, do repeat a little bit. This is kind of a hard game to recommend, unless you want something a little different. Because really, once you get into the gist of the game, you pretty much have to do the game flawlessly to get the best ending. And we get another muscle power-up, which is a bit more useful here as opposed to find it in the city, because while we're near the end of the stage, there's more obstacles to contend with here, like those spiky platforms and more rocks that come up. And we missed a balloon. But luckily, even if you do miss a balloon, you can still get lucky and find the club you need later on in another one. And that balloon back there, I believe, was just health anyway. And there are some balloons that will give you like bombs and that'll fall down on you. So those usually stay where they are regardless. So there are some, once you know the layout, you can find out what balloons you should avoid and what ones that, you know, you should obviously get, because the ones that are just coins, they'll have a club usually within certain points of the game, or within certain points of the stage. And I'm just speeding this up because, like I said, there's only 2 bonus games, and they just alternate between the whack-a-mole and the air hockey. So yay, we got our health back. And now we're on to the 4th stage, which is actually appropriate for a 16-bit winter. Because as you can see, it is an ice stage, which means it's also slippery, which is always fun to do in video games. Yeah, and one thing I don't like is that usually at the beginning of some stages you lose health regardless when you fall on your head or whatever. That I don't really like, because you could potentially, like, die if you had no health. But then again, you have the bonus minigames, so I don't know. But still, it's a bit frustrating when you have stuff that's purposely designed to, like, keep screwing you over like that. Because, well, if you think about it, like, if you know how some people get mad at games and they're like, oh, why would you do this, you know, like, blame the character for it screwed up instead of, you know, you. Well, in the case of this game, you could actually legitimately blame Kid for the things he does, because he's a clown, and he's purposely clumsy, so every time you screw up, Kid will, like, you're basically punished by Kid taking forever to do things and recover and stuff like that. And you know, a lot of times he'll, like, yell and scream at things, and you're just like, oh, stop screaming at that and just move, you know? Because it's quite the frantic game, and when things just go wrong, it can get pretty frustrating. But I guess that's part of the challenge. And yeah, and now we got 2 of these little bonus games. Now, the last one where we flew up, we actually got a max health, which is pretty pointless since we had to lose health to get it anyway. Now here is a jump power-up, but it's not really useful. In fact, it's one of the worst power-ups, because now you can't stop jumping. It's like having a turbo controller jump function that's stuck on, and you can't turn it off for a short while. It's pretty annoying. Because because your momentum is all screwed up, and you have this part here where you have to avoid fire and run along this thing, but of course, with the jumping, it's easy to get caught up in the fire, and yeah, you can get chain reacted in this game, and I already lost nearly half my health because of that. And we have these things, and because I wasn't going fast enough, and yeah, it can be quite easy to, like, screw up, and it completely throws you off. And of course, it can be quite easy to, like, miss a balloon, like, because it's slippery. I have to take my time to grab these, otherwise I might slide past them, and then you can't walk backwards, so you can't go back to grab them, because you always have to be moving forward in this game. And of course, if you jump and keep missing, the balloon will float away after a little while. So it's like a constant. It can be a bit of a struggle to, like, just go, oh god, hurry up and grab the balloon before it flies away, that kind of thing. And that other balloon there was a bomb, so if you grab the health, this is where the isometric platforming can become a bit of a pain, because it can be difficult to gauge where you land and stuff, even though you do have a shadow. And yeah, now we got this bit where we have to avoid Blackjack's ice ray. It's a bit tricky to time, but you basically just have to move over and jump before he fires off his gun. And you don't want to get hit by him going down the mountain either in his little snowmobile or whatever, because you'll lose a lot of health and time because of that. So yeah, that's the 4th stage down, and we're already like 80% done with this game. Oh yeah, one thing I should mention is that I'm actually taking, like, different runs of each stage, and kind of splice them together into like the best runs, or the ones that show off the most like bonus things and stuff like that I find and successfully do. And this is air hockey again, just speed through that. So yeah, if you actually don't... I've actually played through this game multiple times because it's quite easy to get the bad ending. And you'll see what I mean when I get to that. So, you know, I'm obviously making it as seamless as I can with the editing here, but if my health and/or my score is inconsistent between stages, that's why. If you even pay attention to those kinds of details. So here's the last stage, which is a spooky cave, and you have a coffin with a ghost that will constantly chase you. And if it catches up to you, it'll do damage to you. Like, there it is, right there. This stage is a bit of a pain, because there are a lot of obstacles like that can grab you, and you can run into. And the worst obstacle to run into are ones that'll make Kid lose his nose, and he takes a long time putting it back on. And it's the worst that happened in this stage, because the ghost will catch up to you, and you'll do that same freeze hit you got that happened in the ice stage. And yeah, this stage is pretty difficult unless you know what you're doing, and you want to grab those, because otherwise, if you fall down, you'll take a long time climbing across to get to the other side. And you got this stuff here, which, yeah, you have to be quick on your, yeah, like there. Like, see, he lost his nose, and even though I'm mashing the jump button, he still takes a long time to put it back on. That's the worst to happen. It doesn't help when stuff like that keeps happening, because those can be random too, of where they fall on you. And some jumps can be a little tricky to do, despite the ones where you grab the tongue are pretty easy to grab. Yeah, this stage, it's quite easy to die in this stage because of the ghost, and if you constantly screw up. And the timer's pretty fast in this one too, even though I think they're all 3 minutes. But because this is the hardest and longest stage, it can be tricky to reach there in time. And yeah, you want to hit Blackjack, because he'll like rise up as a vampire and scare Kid, and then that'll cause him to not get past the gate, and you'll have to squeeze through the gate. And I've actually died to the squeezing through the gate because I had like no health left. So that was that was fun. Okay, now that we've cleared the final stage, we can now get to the ending, or at least the final thing before the ending, which, to be frank, is the most bullshit thing ever. But before we have that, there's actually a little mini stage, or another little thing I found. The only thing I found in this stage is another falling bit. I think each stage has 2 of these sort of things where you either fall or leap into the air to get a power-up. Although with this stage I was only able to find 1, and with the Volcano I only found 1. But this is the worst power-up to get in this stage, because it makes you slide around like in the ice stage. I don't know why they even give you this type of power-up to begin with. But anyway, here's the ending. You have 5 keys and 10 locks. Good luck to find the one you need to open it. This is where the bullshit factor comes in, because basically you only have a 50-50 chance to get the good ending if you stick to one side of the locks or whatever. But luckily I managed to do it there. And we get the good ending. Now, what's bullshit is because... Remember how I mentioned I had to do several runs of this game, basically? Yeah, I actually failed to get this good ending, even though I got all the honey hearts. Yes, those are what they're called. Every time you manage to do the whole stage in one go, flawlessly, without having to loop it. So, because of that, I had to do this game several times because I, failed to get the good ending, 3 times. So, yeah, and if you win, you just get this ending, where it's like, yay. Now they're gonna have kinky clown sex, and Kid has, rabies or something. From the looks of it. So, yeah, we got all the honey hearts, and that's the best ending of the game. which is a pretty expected ending for a game like this to begin with. And we also unlock a hard mode. And the only credit we get is from Kemco and the creative advisor. Whatever. So yeah, you unlock hard mode. It's pretty much just is a hard mode. It's just that the time limit is now faster, and I don't think there's really any difference with the ending, so I'm not going to bother doing that. So yeah, now the title screen's a bit different. Woo. However, like I said, there are multiple endings. If you don't get the lock, and yeah, that's just it. She just gets blown up by a bomb. And okay, wow, she's missing part of her skull there. Not sure how she's still alive after all that. And yeah, this is the worst ending. Kid gets demoted to a janitor. The king is pissed. Honey is pissed, and Blackjack is in the back with a trench coat or something, I think. I don't even know, but he said he'll be back. Yeah, major bummer. You blew it. You blew this ending with... You blew it the luck-based minigame and got the bad ending. Try again. Yeah, this is the part of the game I do not like at all. And if you do miss a club, or I keep calling it club, even though if you miss a card suit, this happens if you reach the end. Basically, Blackjack will plant another bomb because he's a dick like that, and not again. So yeah, what happens is you go all the way back to the beginning, and you have to do the whole stage all over. And the balloons you already got coins in will just fall down, and you gotta get all the clubs, or the clubs. You gotta get all the things again. And this is what happens if you die. If you lose all your health, you get a game over, and you have to use one of your lives. Now, even if you do manage to get through the stage without missing a card suit, you won't get a honey heart. And this is what happens when you don't reach the bombs in time. They basically just blow up and block Kid's path, and that uses up a life. And if you do any of those, you can't get the best ending. What you can do though is get at least an average ending, which if you win at that luck-based minigame at the end, without getting all the honey hearts, you get this ending. Basically, Honey just acts like a spoiled princess, and she gets married to someone else. Yay. And the game basically just tells you, oh, too bad. You would have gotten a better ending if you got all the honey hearts without screwing up in the stages before. Yay. And Kid's face there pretty much sums up what I think about the endings, really. But yeah, despite the endings and the, quite frankly, bullshit minigame at the end where it determines whether or not you get the good or the bad ending, this game is still okay. I mean, I know I have mixed feelings about it, but it's still an alright game. Yeah, and that just unlocks the hard mode. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it for Kid Klown. There was a Game Boy Advance remake that added more stages, but other than that, I don't really think there's any other Kid Klown games except for, like, an NES one, I think, that came out before this. So, yeah, that was my first game for the 60-bit winter, and yeah, that's enough for this game. Next!